As the angst and disillusionment of punk's advent exploded towards the end of the 1970s, its vanguard began looking elsewhere for inspiration. Post-punk drew on the cadences of electronica, glam rock, reggae, and even pop, an era just as nebulous and splintered as its predecessor. Abra, the self-styled darkwave Duchess of Atlanta, Georgia's Awful Records collective, derives her secondary moniker from one of post-punk's offshoot movements, and some of her sound too. For her 2015 debut album Rose, recently reissued on vinyl via Ninja Tune, she embraces the cynicism of darkwave and its brooding hues, while making room for brighter beats and quicker tempos. From the melancholy, synth-heavy opener feel through to the heart-and-sleeve vulnerability and upbeat house syncopation of No Chill, the first 8 tracks of Rose are a triumph of good sequencing. Abra is the album's sole producer, and she experiments deftly with vocal sampling and effects, distilling electronic, pop, and R&B sensibilities into varied but equally compelling beats. The lyrical content on Rose veers between earnest and despairing, but it's always honest. On the standout track Roses, a metaphor-heavy composition about a complex love affair, the nihilist thread that runs along the album seems as most apparent: everything dies and everything changes. Pride and Atoms best capture the essence of dark 1980s synth-pop, while Dollar Hot recalls My Superman, a cut from Sandy Gold's genre-melding debut album that in turn interpolates Red Light by post-punk icon Susie and the Banshees. The homage is never ham-handed, but while Dollar Hot adds an element of interest to the moody atmosphere that Rose otherwise creates, a somber energy is hard to abide for long. On an album that runs for just shy of an hour, Dollar Hot also marks the point at which Rose starts losing steam, burying a colorless guest verse from Stalin Majesty after 4 of nearly 7 allotted minutes. The unvarnished, lofty qualities of Abra's music are often its distinguishing features. Some of her best-known work was recorded in a bedroom closet using basic equipment. But on Rose, they are occasionally a distraction, usually where the vocal performance is concerned. Abra knows how to use her voice well on You Know. She serves as both lead and background vocalist, without over-reliance on corrective effects. Yet, especially for the ad-libs peppered across the album, she uses the thinnest part of her range for what ultimately comes across as discordant singing. That this technique resurfaces on Princess, her follow-up EP from 2016, is confirmation of a curious stylistic decision rather than something to improve upon. It seems like a shame that Rose Closer's Human and Game, 2 sparse piano-old versions of Feel and No Chill respectively, wind up highlighting the scattered vocal quality and inflate the album's running time unnecessarily. Nonetheless, Rose isn't entirely undone in the final quarter. It's a strong debut that lets listeners into Abra's universe while she retains the intrigue surrounding her persona. She chooses to keep her real name and age secret. Instead, she bets that her lyrical vulnerability and the evident autonomy over her creative domain will keep listeners coming back, and they do.